Don't eat Campbell's soup, people. Campbell's soup is in hot water after the executive gets a little honest on a secret recording. Not fun. Little honest, people. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna describe this for you. On November 25th, when Robert Garza, the former Campbell's soup employee, had filed a wrongful termination lawsuit in New Jersey in federal court against the company and two executives, including Martin Bailey, Bally, the vice president of information technology. According to the lawsuit, during a private salary discussion meeting in late 2024, Bailey launched into an hour-long expletive-laced tirade that Garza secretly recorded after sensing unease. Wow. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is this guy, he works at Campbell's Soup. I don't know what you do. Do you just like mix in the salt? I don't know what you actually do at a soup company, but I assume that you just like whatever. Maybe he was he designed the labels or some shit. He gets pulled into this executive meeting where for some odd reason, and this is always goes out to every CEO, and I've known some CEOs. What's it called? The CEOs at the company that I worked at last, they like to get, hands on. They like to get to know the people that work at the company. This is advice to every CEO that I think could listen to this and could ever hear this. Never pull in the lower working class when you want to get honest. If you want to get fun with people, you're going to have to vet them. You're going to have to, how the government does ritualistic, Jeffrey Epstein island situations where they photograph each other doing these things in order to make sure that they're cool, they're chill. You need to do the corporate espionage version of this. You need to pull this person into a meeting and you need to get them to say some stuff that's going to get them arrested. You need to get you need to find out if they're cheating on their wife, if they have a second family, if they have gambling habits that maybe their significant other doesn't know about. All of these things will work, any of them. Go ahead and just take whatever you know about this person, put it into a file, and then go ahead and say, hey, we're looking at a high up position. It's great paying and whatnot, but also we will go ahead and we'll go ahead and we'll slip this into your mailbox. If you ever say anything against this company, it's worse than an NDA. It's better than an NDA. That is what you need to do. And then they should have done that with this guy. And then give him a high up position, give him the high paying job. But then you've sweetened the deal, and you've also made him know that he is your bitch. He is your bitch, and he will service you in any way that is meaningful. So that is where all of this could have gone. However, since I'm not their legal advisor, I'm only just throwing this out there for any CEO who could hear this. If you hear this, please make sure that you have these people vetted, because they will record you. All of these working class folks, they're always looking to cancel people. They're always looking to hold people accountable. They're always looking to hold people accountable and make Starbucks pay their employees, or make Target stop putting people on the streets. It's ridiculous. They want accountability. They want all this stupid stuff. It's ridiculous. The audio, let's just jump into this. The audio, portions of which were broadcast by Detroit's WDIV TV, Local 4, and reviewed by multiple outlets, captures a voice identified by Campbell's as Bailey's, deriding the company's products as highly processed food and, quote, shit for fucking poor people. Quote, who's buying our shit? Poor people. We have shit for fucking poor people. Bailey also allegedly mocked customers, calling the soups, claiming that the soups used, quote, a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer, and admitted to arriving at work high on marijuana edibles, boasting, quote, I ate 2 edibles before this meeting. Okay. Garza, of who is Mexican descent, further alleged racist remarks targeting Indian colleagues, including calling them idiots and complaining about the curry smell in the office, which he reported to HR without resolution before his firing in early 2025, which they're now saying they fired him for a good reason. I want to go ahead and I want to ask the question to the audience. Where was the lie in the audio? Can you list me one lie that this man said? Because, by the way, I've had Campbell's soup as of recent, and my fiance pointed this out. She's been a Campbell's soup eater for a long time. She and I, noticed this. Back in the day when you used to eat Campbell's soup, I'd say before like the year 2015, something like that, 2015, 2016, the soup chunks, the meat inside, were decent cuts. They weren't like big hunks, big cubes or whatever, but they were cubes, and they were decent sized cubes, and they had a texture that felt like real meat. This new meat that they have in it, it feels chewy without having anything behind. It feels like gelatiny. I don't understand what about it hits me in such a wrong way. So, and also, he's right. Who buys Campbell's soup? Poor people. That is true. Rich people are going to Aldi's. They're going to Aldi's and they're buying like the organic stuff. That's what rich people are doing. And if we're being really, really honest, if we caught somebody saying these sorts of things, this is how they talk it with their friends. So I go ahead and I say, yes, like it sounds really bad. You have to put yourself in the perspective of, like, these are, like, is he a dishonest person? And as far as I can see in regards to his dishonesty, like his manipulative, how evil of a person he is, I have seen nothing. I've seen an honest guy who does not like his own company's way of doing business and is kind of given some shit. He's like Rant. He's just, he's popping shit. And I gotta ask, is it not safe to pop shit with your coworkers anymore? I'm kind of nervous now, the idea that, like, if you pop shit with your coworkers, they're suddenly going to report you to, like, if you work at Casey's, like, the gas station, are they going to report you to corporate and say, you don't align with our values about pumping gas for the common man? And you're like, but who buys your gas? Who uses the Casey's app and actually uses Casey's coin and whatever? Poor people. That's just a fact of life. I'm sorry. Let's launch into this clip because I want everybody to hear it for themselves. I don't want it to just be like a blah, 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 I said a thing. I have no evidence. I do. Let's jump into it.
We are following a messy situation for the Campbell Soup Company today after a former...
I'm not even going to miss it, though, except for their tomato. Their tomato is the only one I will miss because it's creamy. The other ones that I've had, they're too thick.
...employee filed a lawsuit against the company and then released audio his lawyers say he recorded during a meeting with executives. Let's go to CBS News correspondent Chanel Call, who's live in our newsroom. Chanel, what do we know about this lawsuit?
So, Liz, this lawsuit, we understand, was launched by a person by the name of Robert Garza. Now, Garza was hired as a cybersecurity analyst for Campbell's back in September of 2024. And, Liz, 2 months after he was hired, he says he had a meeting with an executive named Martin Bally to discuss his salary.
It was a newbie. That was the issue, is that you hadn't vetted this. You didn't know if this was a safe person to get honest in front of. I'm blaming this guy. Listen, I'm blaming him, but I also sympathize with him because I get that you want to talk shit with your coworkers about how, this company fucking sucks. Every person who's worked at any big corporate entity feels that way, where they want to crack shit with the fellow employees about how man, did you see the higher ups? I bet he doesn't even pick up his daughter after soccer. I bet that he goes home and he like sits on the couch and ignores his wife. I bet that him and his son have an awful relationship, and his son like vapes in his room all day, and then his dad comes in and goes, "What are you doing?" And his son like takes a break from Steam or whatever, and then he's like, you don't even understand me. You don't get the life that I choose to lead. And then he's like 25, he's investing in cryptocurrency, and he still lives at home. You need to be able to vent somewhere. And if you can't vent with your coworkers, you can't vent with your family, where is it going to go?
Now, during that meeting, he is now alleging that Bally made several disparaging comments about Indian workers and also said that Campbell's is, quote, highly processed food for poor people. Now, CBS News did get a copy of that recorded phone call. Garza's attorney is saying that this was secretly recorded. So take a listen to part of that conversation.
I believe it was secretly recorded.
I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy. Now that I know what the f*** even in a can of soup, I look at it and look at meat. Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer, do you?
All right, I'll read out just in case you didn't hear it. I don't buy fucking Campbell's soup products anymore, barely anymore. It's unhealthy. I don't even know what the fuck's in it. Even in a can of soup, I look at it and bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat the fucking piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. Do you? Pretty fun.
So Liz, Garza says that he actually told his manager about that phone call a couple of months later in January of 2025, and then he said that he wasn't encouraged to take that information to HR. Now, just 3 weeks after that conversation...
Should never take anything to HR, take it to the media. People, if you ever have something good, if you ever have anything good against your company, never take it to HR, take it to the media. Because the media will put press on it, they'll put heat on it, and you might actually get something close to accountability. Because once HR gets on it, HR, listen, I want to get on this train. If you know people who are in HR, I've known some of them. I've known some of my own family who have been members of HR. And these are still people that I would not invite to Thanksgiving because they are the slimiest group of people you will ever meet in your life. They are people who, like, they don't hold the door for you at an elevator. They would take the sign off of pool areas for like kids to walk slow in order to watch like 6-year-olds crack their heads. They are the true demons of society that lurk among us. HR representatives. HR representatives are the people who will giggle at you while they are serving you a piece of paper that means you have no more money coming from us. You're going to be homeless in a few months. So. And every person who's worked at a job big enough to have HR knows exactly what I'm talking about. They are worse than demons from hell. They are servants of Satan in the earthly dimension. And their souls, as a result, will be inherited by the kingdom of hell. They will become servants in the afterlife because the human soul, it is not viable after that. At that point, guess what? You cannot come back to the earth. You cannot whatever. Your soul will be taken by Satan and you will burn in hell for eternity. And that is, listen, I don't know what else to say about that. HR representatives are people who they will sign that contract every time because it comes with like a decent SUV, like a minivan, and like a good school that your kids can go to and a decent 2-story house. And every single HR representative they'll sign the contract where they are like, yep, I'm ready to be a representative for a company to do anything. A company can do anything and I will have to justify it. I will have to protect them from responsibility. It's worse than being a lawyer because at least the lawyers have to pretend innocent people. So, like they have to protect innocent people sometimes. HR is never protecting the innocent. HR is never in the business of protecting the innocent. They're in the business of protecting the shareholders. They're in the interest of protecting the people who would love to see you on the street in a second if it meant that they didn't have to pay you anymore. So, Campbell's has swiftly placed Bailey on administrative leave on November 25th, pending an internal investigation. By November 26th, the company announced his termination, stating it had reviewed the recording and confirmed the voice belongs to Mr. Bailey. In a statement, Campbell's condemned the statements as vulgar, offensive, and false, expressing deep regret for the hurt and offense caused to employees, customers, and partners. The company issued a detailed fact sheet refuting Bailey's claims about the product quality, emphasizing that its soups have used 100% real chicken from long-trusted USDA-approved U.S. suppliers with, quote, no antibiotics ever. And no 3D printed, lab-grown, or bioengineered meat. I don't believe them. Wholeheartedly, I don't believe them. That's exactly why they have a government health agency looking into them right now. So, what else can I say besides that? Campbell's also launched a review of Garza's discrimination complaint, promising to address any retaliation claims, though Bailey has not publicly commented. The episode drew parallels to past corporate scandals like the 2018 incident where another Campbell's executive was ousted for promoting conspiracies on social media. Pretty fun to look back on moments like that. I don't know. This soup brand's been around for 150 years, if nobody else knows. This thing, it has, it's in Andy Warhol paintings. It's been a cultural staple. Is this going to be enough to sink it? I don't think so. I really don't.